This is Betting the Breeders' Cup, presented by Fanduel. Our analyst handicappers here to provide you with all the tips you need for Future Stars Friday. Taking a look at the Fanduel Juvenile, presented by TAA. The morning line odds presented by Fanduel, and we have a very heavy favorite in the Bob Baffert-trained Cave Rock. Undefeated coming into this race, and what the Juvenile can provide is an early look at the Kentucky Derby favorite. To help us out, I'm Brittany Ayrton, so pleased to be joined by Nick Luck. Also joining us, Matt Bernier, and from the Daily Racing Form, David Grenning. Nick, we must start with the undefeated Cave Rock. He is fast, he is talented, and he's trained by a man that has already won the Juvenile 5 times.
And the man who trained this horse's sire, the brilliant Arrogate, who in just one crop, sadly, has produced some fantastic horses. This horse, Cave Rock, has delivered a performance of the highest caliber. What he's done that the others haven't, he's already produced a performance that in and of itself is good enough to win 9 out of 10 runnings of the Breeders' Cup Juvenile.
9 out of 10. Interesting.
Maybe even 10 out of 10, you could say, because the speed figure he produced was quite remarkable. I don't see how he can be beaten if he reproduces that form. You could make a case that 4 to 5 is a shade big.
That's interesting. Okay, I want to hand it off to Matt and David. He says 9 out of 10, maybe 10 out of 10 times he could win the Juvenile. How do you two see this?
David, he's 4 to 5. He seems like a pretty rock-solid 4 to 5 favorite, in my opinion. Is there any reason to be concerned about Cave Rock not delivering on Friday?
No, I don't think so. He's been training very well in California. His performances, as Nick said, have been superb. The only thing that's a little tricky to me is his stablemate, also trained by Bob Baffert, National Treasure, is getting blinkers back on. Now, he took the blinkers off to not make sure that in the American Pharaoh, they didn't go head and head. Now Bob's putting them back on, and I'm not 1,000% sure I understand why. But I still think Cave Rock is faster and better at this stage of the game.
So through 3 lifetime starts, no one has ever headed Cave Rock. He's been on the lead at every call in his races. If, for whatever reason, he doesn't make the front on Friday, does that give you any cause for pause?
I don't think so, because I think he can sit, as long as he's going his pace. If somebody else is going as fast as he is, they're trying. He's not trying, because he just goes that naturally fast. So I'm not that concerned about it.
Cave Rock, strictly the horse to beat, but there are other quality 2-year-olds in this race. Let's talk about a couple of Todd Pletcher trainees. Let's begin with Lost Ark, and they both actually come out of the local prep here, the Breeders' Futurity. What about Lost Ark makes you think he can get a piece of this?
I thought he had a brutal trip in the Breeders' Futurity. He out of the gate, he was steadied early, he goes in the first turn, he gets checked again, he's trying to make a run in the stretch, and he gets checked again. He wasn't going to get anywhere near Forte, because Forte was really good that day, but he was going to be better than a 6th place, 10-length defeat. And I think if he gets a cleaner trip at the price he's at, he's worth throwing underneath if you're trying to make some money in the Juvenile.
Keep in mind, his big sister is Nest. She's going to be the favorite in the distaff on Saturday. Forte was the runner-up that day, or technically he was the winner, actually. He and Loggins went head-and-head down the wire. My question for you is, with the setup that Forte had in that Breeders' Futurity, a wicked pace signed on that day, race more or less fell apart, Forte went and got them. With Cave Rock out there and in a pace scenario that may be a little bit on the murkier side, does that compromise Forte's chances?
I think it compromises chances, because I think his best way to win is to get a little closer. Does that take him out of his style a little bit? I would want to say about Forte is don't hold that 5th place finish at the Sanford against him. That race turned out to be a stronger version than it has been in the past. Horses have come out of that race to win 6 stakes races.
So is it Cave Rock and everyone else, in your opinion?
I think it's Cave Rock and everyone else. I'll try and make a little bit of money by throwing Lost Ark in there. Blazing Sevens, who won the Champagne on a sloppy track, but his best race probably was his maiden race on a fast track. I think he'll prefer a fast track, and we'll see what kind of price he is.
Britt, Nick, it's Cave Rock for us, and then everyone else.
It's Cave Rock for me. Is it Cave Rock for you?
It's Cave Rock for me if there's one for the exacta verify.
Oh, he's carrying a lot of weight in there, aside from jockey Juan Hernandez. The Breeders' Cup Juvenile comes up as race number 9 from Keeneland. Don't forget, you can wager on all of this great racing action. New FanDuel customers, bet the Breeders' Cup and get up to $100 back if your horse doesn't win. This has been Betting the Breeders' Cup.